Alright, so with another MCU show on Disney Plus that has come and gone with Agatha All Along, and with all the other MCU shows that we've gotten from Marvel Studios, that now it's time for my updated ranking of all the shows that have come out, and this will be a full tier list of everything and much more. And so if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so miss out on any future bits. But now, let's get into this tier list. And so with the tiers that I have for here is A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier. And now the first one up we have is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And look, I really like this show and I enjoyed it, and this is going in A tier because it gave us more of Sam and Bucky's character dynamic that we never got to explore in the MCU. Of course, they were side characters, obviously in the Avengers films and alongside Captain America and his movies, but this is like the character chemistry that we never explored, but it gave us that perfect dynamic brilliantly, and we explore more of Bucky's history and more of his character that made us like attached to him. Of course, he was a brainwashed assassin. He was the Winter Soldier, but it gave us like so much drama and grounded storytelling. It gave us John Walker, the Flag Smashers, and of course, towards the end, it gave us Sam Wilson as our new Captain America. And plus, we're getting Captain America: Brave New World soon, so that's like a good sign, and that's obviously good. But I generally enjoyed the show. It gave us that classic MCU action, and I just definitely enjoyed it. Plus, it was action packed for all the stuff that it generally delivered. Next we got is Secret Invasion, and look, this is an outright F tier show because this show was marketed as a spy thriller. This gave us the concept of Nick Fury has to investigate these Skrulls that are invading Earth. But even like within each episode, it felt like filler and it was heading towards nowhere. But it didn't really feel action-packed. But towards the end, not only did it give us one of the worst endings in MCU television, but it was so goofy and so generic, and like it was completely rushed, and it didn't give us like the big picture of the MCU. It was sort of missing that, and plus it gave us like more questions than answers. I was sort of like confused out of my mind, and I've never seen like a rushed ending before with the show, and it completely wastes Nick Fury. They did him dirty, and he didn't really do much, and they killed off characters like so early on, or it was unnecessary. I mean, I just liked the characters, but it really wasn't that interesting, because it wasn't as action-packed as I thought it would be. So yeah, it was just an awful show. Next guy is Loki, and yeah, this is going in A tier because not only, I mean, this didn't feel like the MCU. It felt like more of dramatic television, and we got to explore Loki's character arc. We got to explore him more. Of course, with the show that introduced us to the TVA, of what it can do. Of course, that it exists outside of space and time. But we get to learn more about its existence, of what it is hidden. It gave us such like a mystery, and plus I love the dynamic duo of Mobius and Loki. Of course, with Mobius played by Owen Wilson, I loved his character. But even within each story, it was revealing, and it was so awesome. But even with its 2 seasons, it really like gave us so much storytelling and so much drama, and it was such a mystery for what's next. And towards the end of that show, it gave us a great closure to Loki's character arc into finding his glorious purpose, because that's who he is, the god of mischief. And yeah, I generally enjoyed this show. And yeah, it deserves all the awards. I love the score. I generally love the storytelling, and it gave us like, it sets up the next chapter for the multiverse saga. It sets up so many things. So yeah, I really enjoyed the show. Next guy is Hawkeye, and I really enjoyed the show during the holiday season. And yeah, I put it in B tier because this was a fun show during the Christmas season. It gave us Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld. She crushed that role, and it gave us that like Hawkeye action with the bow and arrow, and I just love the Christmas and the holiday vibes that the show delivers in New York City, and even Lucky, the dog that was so cute. But I just generally loved all the Christmas vibes and all that MCU action that the show provided, and of course it was amazing, and also gave us Kingpin. But I just definitely loved everything about it, and even with Clint and Kate's chemistry on screen, it rocks. It just rocks on screen so much, and I'm excited to see for where Kate Bishop's journey in the MCU continues next. So yeah, I really enjoyed the show, and it was a fun watch to me. And then next we got is Echo, and to me, yeah, I'm putting this in the back of F tier, right behind that, because listen, this show was marketed to be TVMA, and plus even in trailer footage, you got Kingpin beating up someone in an alley, and even though it was violent and mature, but it didn't do that, because in these 5 episodes, I think gave us all at once. It just felt like goofy, generic MCU stuff that we've seen plenty of times in other projects. But I like Cox as Maya Lopez. I liked her character and Hawkeye, but even in Echo, exploring her heritage and her background. I mean, I didn't know if it was needed, but it was definitely something. But it just felt generic. It didn't really deliver on its themes, and to that, I really get why Marvel dumped the show all at once. It didn't really have much faith, and to that, I never really liked it that much. And it was just not my jam, anyways. Next guy is She-Hulk Attorney at Law, and listen, I don't hate this show, but I just generally think it was goofy, and I think this is going in D tier. But the reason with that being is I liked Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, exploring her side as a lawyer, the fact that she is the cousin of Bruce Banner, and I liked that in the beginning of the show. But even as it went on with these 9 episodes, it felt like a lawyer comedy, with all these side characters that were interesting. But even throughout the whole thing, it just felt like filler and nonsense. But towards the end, it felt really weird. But it also gave us a Daredevil in the MCU, Matt Murdock. But I definitely enjoy that more out of the entire show. But I just I definitely think the She-Hulk concept, it was really interesting. But it was my least favorite MCU show. But I just liked the character of Jennifer Walters. But other than that, it was slightly good. But it was not so much. Next we got is Moon Knight. To me, I like this show. I definitely like the Moon Knight outfit. It was so sick to me. This is going in C tier, and this was a show I just really liked. It's a concept of what sort of ideas that I didn't want to bring to the table, especially as I loved Oscar Isaac as Mark Spector, playing these different personalities of Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, and especially for what this show pulls off, it was really interesting. Plus, with the Moon Knight suit, I thought it looked so sick. I loved the action, and it had a brilliant action sequences, awesome fight scenes, and it felt dark and explored so much stuff. Plus, I love that Ethan Hawke as Arthur Harrow, and who's the main antagonist. But I just I generally think that I think the ending was rushed, and some people are saying, "Oh, we're getting a season 2 of Moon Knight," but I don't know if that was set in stone or if Moon Knight was just a one and done character. But I just definitely liked the show for what it was. Again, it gave us a good background on Stephen Grant. And I definitely loved Oscar Isaac in the role. Yet again, I liked the show for what it was. I thought it was pretty good, but it's slightly decent. Next we have is WandaVision. And look, I like this show, and this is going in front of B tier. Yeah, because with WandaVision, I just really like it's week to week hype. And bringing all of its hype and all of its theories, and even with exploring Wanda and Vision, and I generally like that. And also, I gotta say, with the week-to-week hype that it was building up, I think it was generally better than the actual show itself. I mean, I liked it, but even with the reveals and the predictions and guessing for what's next of who was going to show up, and I think that was definitely overhyped, but I was a little unsatisfied for how it ended, but a little bit outlandish in my opinion. But it gave us good television. Plus, I like the character of Agatha Harkness, and you with Wanda's story because she became the Scarlet Witch, and I generally liked it because it became one of the first shows of Phase 4. It started MCU television, but I generally think it was a good show, but I wasn't satisfied about the ending. The next we got is What If. To me, I think this is definitely going in like a D tier behind She-Hulk, because with the concept of a what if, it gave us all these different scenarios of what could happen, and I liked it. I liked it. It was like the first show in MCU animation. It gave us all these brilliant concepts and ideas about what we could explore about like going back to the MCU timeline and the Infinity Saga, and what would happen if this happened, if this happened. But even with season 2, like, I liked it, but even with season 3, because we're getting another season this year, but I just definitely think like it's like not that great of a show. But I just like, I definitely liked all of its things, but I think it could definitely explore more. It has so much potential to be like, I think it could definitely explore more events like all these with these characters and stuff like that. Even with What If, I liked it, but it's not that good of a show. But I definitely liked the animation and all of its scenarios that it delivers with these concepts. Next guy is Agatha All Along, the recent show that just ended. To me, this is going in C tier behind Moon Knight, because I liked Agatha All Along, like especially Catherine Hahn really shines as Agatha Harkness, exploring her side as a witch and her character arc, and recruiting her coven and going and embarking on the witch's road and going through all these trials, and even with something that big of a reveal happens at the end of every episode that leads us to what's next. But to me, like, I liked it. I mean, it was sort of goofy in like a way. But I don't think, I don't know if this was my cup of tea, but I definitely think that it was good. I mean, if you enjoyed it, great, I'm happy for you. But to me, I think this was a decent show. It gave us a good ending that sets up for what's next. But I generally like all of its characters that Agatha recruits, and this felt like a good show, especially for the spooky season. Yeah, that's what I generally liked about the show. But I just like think it was interesting. It was underwhelming at first in the beginning, but it turned out to be slightly good at the end. Next we got is XMen 97. Yeah, this is definitely going in A tier, because this was a revival of the X-Men animated series from the 90s. And not only did this deliver such good television, the same animation from the classic animated show, but gave us more of an in-depth of our characters that we never got to see. But to me, it made us fall in love with the X-Men even more. Like, even though that we're getting a season 2, I don't know when that's coming out pretty much soon. Just with like X-Men 97, like it gave us so much mature themes and so much violence that we had never got to explore much in the MCU, especially with television. I mean, Botomeo crushed it with his writing concept and the ideas for these characters. That's what I really liked about it. And wow, even like it had like so much emotions, so much heart, and everything that you love about the X-Men, especially with the Fox universe in general, or mainly for just like mutants or in general. I generally like this show. I definitely fell in love with it, and I just really enjoyed it. Lastly, we got is Miss Marvel. Let's see. I'll put this. This is the last one. I'm pretty sure I'll put this in like. Yeah, I'm putting this right here in the middle of C tier, because I really enjoyed Kamala Khan, played by Uman Vellani. She crushed it. I mean, she's like a fangirl of everything of superheroes and Marvel. Her character was energetic and so exciting, and I definitely liked exploring like Kamala's character arc, where she comes from, like, and even though like I generally liked for what the show does. It's like a coming of age story, reminding us of Spider-Man: Homecoming, like learning her life in school. But it was more of an approach to younger audiences. But it gave us like a storyline that I was not that interested in. But this did set up like our first mention of mutants or the X-Men. But I mean, Kamala Khan gave us our first ever mutant in the MCU. It gave us like a good storyline, a definitely good character moments. I mean, Kamala Khan like shines in this role, and I can't wait to see her continue on more in the MCU. But I definitely liked her in this show, and that's what I truly liked. But that's gonna do it for this tier list, and even with another MCU show that has come and gone, and then especially with the shows in this tier list, even though with the ones that were good, or sometimes that were generic, or just bad, or sometimes not that interesting. Again, this is just the beginning of Plus. In 2025, we're getting a massive load of MCU shows from here on out. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below and know what your thoughts on this tier list, and what is your ranking of all the MCU shows that have come out along with Agatha All Along. Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to notifications for future videos. Also follow all my social medias over to the link down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.